Yo, it's Gray Matter. So, shit, there's a couple of videos that I could really go into. One of them was talking about like, oh man, it's fake. They talking about fake Christians, but then use religion and Mosaic law to try to, condemn people for their shortcomings. If you read the Bible, you will know that Jesus died for your sins. And if you believe you are saved, you are also justified. Like you're not. You can't just sit here and try to use Mosaic law to try to condemn a man if they're a believer in which they are free from Mosaic law. Like everybody always wants to make it about them. Oh, I'm this perfect person because I don't do this and I don't do that and I don't do that. Your righteousness is but filthy rags. I'm just being blunt. Your works don't change nothing. You can sit here and try to condemn a man for what he did, but at the end of the day, you're no better. So with that, talking about lust and everything, and oh, you're looking at other women and all this types of stuff, but these are single men with no wives. You read the Bible and you look at, like the old days, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, right? Having multiple wives, having mistresses, David having multiple wives, concubines, Solomon having multiple wives, concubines, weren't condemned for it at all, not even the slightest. It doesn't even say in the scripture that they were condemned for it. They were still men of God. But then you want to go out and, oh, you got caught looking at her. Like, stop. You was looking at Instagram models. Stop. When David got condemned, because you can say all you want about lust and everything, David, if he wanted a woman, he got her. He did. The only time it was an issue was when he took another man's wife and got the husband killed just so he could have the guy's wife. Like he messed up when he was dealing with Bathsheba. That's when he messed up. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to have a whole Bible study on that. As a matter of fact, this isn't even the topic I want to talk about. You get mad at the dude because he had a drink at a bar. He smoked a little something. And everybody's ready to throw a fit. Oh, he's cussing. He's heathen. Stop. Like, seriously, stop. You can go online and find men being condemned for wanting to have sex with their own wives. So miss me with all that uppity nonsense. Okay. You're talking about righteousness and being holy and everything. There's just a bunch of people faking it. Anybody who's saved will recognize that they are only righteous because Jesus died for them, not because of their actions. But whatever. Speaking about this though, because this is what I really wanted to talk about, and think of this as kind of a part two to my what's the name, my black community. What's wrong with the black community? We want to talk about how it's not inherently the black woman or the black man. But we already discussed how I said the 80s in the previous video, but it happened way before then. The introduction of welfare and these women deciding that having welfare checks and Section 8 housing, I don't think it was called Section 8 back then, but it was housing, right, was better than having a father in the house. You can't just act like that didn't, change anything or didn't cause the spiral downward of the black community. The fact that they effectively destroyed the family, the nuclear family with that, which is another reason why I don't like BLM, because they wanted to continue this, destruction of the nuclear family, even had it in their mission statements, and it was ran by three black women. Ironically, right? But we want to sit here and be like, oh no, the men is horrible. The men are trash. The men is garbage. Even this man right here, talking about how he grew up in the time of Dr. King and Malcolm X, where black men were men. There's a bunch. First things first, what you do and your money and all that shit does not make you a man. It doesn't. That's not what makes you a man. But say it does, right? And we want to judge men on their character and everything they're doing in the community, right? We have a bunch of mentors, a bunch of teachers, a bunch of black principals, a bunch of men, financial advisors, all that shit in the black community, and it's still shit. Why? Why? He's talking about genocide, right? People getting killed.
And at least 2 of them are dead. Every day. Every day. Equate that to my change jar and think about it. If we're killing 2 of our own people every day in Philadelphia, 2 of our own people every week in Asbury Park, 2 of our own people every day in Washington, D.C., 2 of our own people every day in Chicago. What are we doing? Genocide.
Genocide, right? Forget the fact that these chicks was out here fighting. They were upset about Roe v. Wade being overturned, right? Thousands of black children are murdered in the womb daily, right? Way more than any form of gun violence. We lose more black boys that could have became black men in the womb than we do on the streets. But you're using gang violence as your, example of black genocide, which is kind of where he had me fucked up a little bit, but whatever. All right. Violence is an issue in the black community. I'm not going to deny that, but it's not the number one killer. So if you want to discuss genocide, let's discuss the actual number one killer first. Get rid of that, and then we can focus on, changing the minds of the rest, which a lot of them don't want to change. But let's just continue.
Genocide. We have got to be the greatest source of entertainment on this planet. Every other race of people have to be looking at us and saying, Lord, have mercy. I pray to God that my people never become that pathetic. We're destroying ourselves.
Facts.
We're destroying ourselves.
Facts.
He's right about that.
Those of us that are not dying are going to jail.
I'm not in jail.
Are marrying white people.
Oh shit. Hey, wait. I forgot about that part. Oh fuck, I can't even be serious with that shit. So wait. Niggas is killing each other. Niggas is going to jail. Niggas is marrying white bitches. And so what if they are? You want to talk about genocide? Let's go right back to what I said in the beginning. 1,000 people dying in the womb every day, right? That does not compare to a black man piping down a white chick, getting her pregnant, and having 2 or 3 babies. And by the way, black men aren't even marrying white chicks in that high of numbers in the first place. And if they are, so what? Let them do what they want. This ain't Jim Crow. People been interracially sleeping with each other for centuries. You go back in the day, and like we're talking about Cleopatra, right? You look at depending on which Cleopatra, because there was like 7 of them. I know, right? One of them actually had an Egyptian mother, right? A black Egyptian mother. So that would mean that because one of these Cleopatras was mixed, okay? And by the way, in Macedonia, there was a bunch of different races and everybody migrating together. There was a lot of interracial sex going on. Okay, these guys, they weren't all inbreeding like y'all think they were. So you're telling me that these Egyptian women can go out and get fucked by the white man? They're black queens. Black guy goes out, finds him a white chick for whatever reason. And he's a self-hating brother. He's an evil brother. He's attributing to the genocide. Look, bro. First things first, to all the bitter women out there, because I see it all online, you know, so a black man dates a white chick. He's a weak man. He's a weak. I seen this shit from family members. He's a weak black man. Shut up. Okay. You don't know what that man went through. You don't know who he's been around or how he grew up. And you just call him weak because you cannot stand seeing a black man with a white chick. Let's just be real. Or any other race for that matter. There was a black dude with an Asian chick. His comment section filled. You self-hating. But like, come on, bro. Maybe he has a preference. And if he does, so what? Some of y'all chicks don't like dudes under 6 foot. You don't know they was childhood friends. You don't know if he went to school with the chick. You don't know nothing. And you just looking at, he's a self-hating brother. He's attributing to the genocide. Stop, man. Just stop. Fucking stop. Stop. You need help. I'm not even trying to be the meme, but you need help. That right there was racist. But once again, he grew up in that era where white folk was literally sicking dogs on niggas and shooting them with hoses. There was actual hatred back then. So I don't expect him to come out of that without some form of anger towards, you know, the people who are white. But the white folk of today aren't them. They might still be alive, yeah. But that young dude that's dating that one white chick he met in college, she ain't out here, she ain't do that shit. That's something y'all need to understand. And then also the fact that racial mixing has been going on for centuries. Not even black people, every person on earth is a hybrid of something. Some human somewhere. Y'all got, you like that's the beauty of humanity. Like, we're all one race if you really think about it. And at one point we all used to speak one language too. So for y'all so for you and everyone else to be mad at somebody for an interracial relationship, you are the very thing that you said you're standing against. And keep in mind, that has nothing to do with black folk dying in the streets. And it has nothing to do with the black babies that been getting aborted. Out of all the things to say that makes you ashamed to be a black man, seeing black men married to outside races, get the fuck out of here. And what about the women in interracial? Are we going to talk about them? Did he say white men or did he say white people?
Are marrying white people.
Okay, white people. Cool. And that's where my fucking anger came from. See? You see? But whatever.
Okay. I agree with everything he said up to that point. I do know why he says what he said about black men are marrying white people. I'm gonna pull up some clips. I mean, not clips, but some data.
When you talking about the black men, I'm just gonna say this shit, right? We got folk literally advocate. No, I'm not gonna bring them. I'm not gonna bring the Skittles into this shit. Just us, right? You're telling me that if you just happen to meet a chick that was outside your race and you wanted her, you wouldn't try. You just let her go on because she's just a different skin color. That's why a lot of folk, believe it or not, that's why a lot of folk can't find their husbands or their wives now. Some of y'all expecting one thing and really it could be somebody else. just saying. You looking for a husband in your race, but really your husband might be in another race. There may be that dude in your friend zone. You know what I mean? That you just judged because of the stereotypes. What about that chick that you looked at and you was like, she ain't really me. Maybe. What else did this dude say?
That's not really true. The only Hispanics, every now and then a white person maybe, but majority of the time it's black. But up from
Well, yeah, he's proven that, black men really only go after black women like at an 85% rate.
11%
And
don't
he's,
believe the hype. Black men are not marrying white women, and that's one of the things you hear a lot from black women. And there's nothing wrong with marrying.
well, yeah, that's the bitter single mother narrative. But whatever. Back to what this man was talking
Outside
about.
of your race, I have no issue with interracial marriage. I have no problem with white women. None of that. I just want the truth to be told.
Are marrying out of the race and having mixed children who will marry white women and have less mixed children who will marry white women.
Stop, bro. Now he actually is specifically talking about the men. So I retract my previous statement. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. They're marrying white women and they're going to have mixed babies that's going to marry white women. What if that mixed child wants a Hispanic person? I ain't got, it's, what I'm saying, Latin mixed in there. Then maybe that person want an Asian person. Now you got Asian, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know who the fuck they going to pick. They might just pick a black person. Maybe you're a black man that has a white woman. You have a mixed daughter and she sees her black father as a strong figure in her life. So she goes and finds another black man. You don't know. And once again, it doesn't mean shit. Like, what it seems like to me is this man's seen a lot of news, a lot of media, right? I don't know if he was raised by his mother or not, but whatever. But he's putting all the heavy accountability on the men. And he's ignoring the shit that the women do. Unless he brings it up later. Okay. I would hope he does. I could please and give him the credit. But right now he's talking about men marrying white chicks.
Erase your behind. And we think that we are celebrating somebody. What we're doing is advertising our ignorance. What we're doing is encouraging our own self-destruction. Where are the adults that are raising these children?
It goes back to what I said in the beginning. Most of these so-called adults are single parent mothers.
I just
and
got
they
back
are
from
big kids themselves.
That woman's choice.
right today. I just got back from Home Depot. While I'm in the car, my wife gets a call that some young boys was looking for another young boy,
Mm-hmm.
couldn't find him, so they killed his mother.
That is insane, but it happens all the time, especially in Houston, Texas. I can turn on the news right now, and I promise you, there's going to be 5 or 6 people that got shot. 2 or 3 might be dead out of the shooting. I
I
can.
mean, yeah, you looking for somebody, you don't want their family alerting them, and you don't want any witnesses. It's evil as shit, but it's a tactic. I'm not condoning it. It needs to stop. But once again, that's not the leading killer. It's not. It's not. It's not. Like, let's get the abortion clinics out the hood first. You know, you realize that shit was part of eugenics, right? That was the reason for it. At this point, I'm beating a dead horse. I'm saying the
Promise
same
you,
shit
all over each side of those
over and
people
over
that
again.
jealous children.
For God's sake, the greatest people on the earth has turned into animals, barbaric animals, who they're hanging out with and what their goals are in life.
Well, he's right. He's telling you how to raise your kids. He said the greatest people on the earth. I don't even know. I never really like. As far as like, I'll compare myself to someone else based on skills. I've done it before, and I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to some folk, I feel like I need to get better, but I also think I'm better than others when it comes to skills. But never thought that I was better because of my skin. That's the thing. So when he's discussing this, is he discussing because we're black, or is he discussing because of the things black people have accomplished? That's the question. And even then, black folk are still accomplishing. We still are, even if they're not getting credit. It's nothing new. Still accomplishing shit. And for the record, I don't want to make this shit a race thing. I don't. We're talking specifically black community. That's it.
The law down to stop that, especially if you're raising boys.
Of each other.
Hmm?
Black men were real men. They're my people.
I hate to cut off, but he's 100% right, man. What he's feeling is what every black man and every black woman should be feeling today. Shame.
I don't feel shame because it's not me. Why are you ashamed of things that someone else does? Maybe embarrassed, but why ashamed? We got a bunch of thoughts out here. Like, look, man, I was watching. I'll bring this shit up already. I can't stand these female rappers out here. The bullshit that they do. I can't stand some of these male rappers out here and their bullshit. Like, I'm talking about mainstream niggas. Like, no skills, nothing. And the shit y'all talk about is just, it has no fucking substance, right? But you look at this, which goes back to the media. Look at what's promoted and look at what gets swept under the rug. You're on the news hearing about black kids killing each other, but you're not on the news hearing about, black excellence. You're on, the radio listening to bullshit like Cardi B, but female rappers like Rhapsody aren't as well known. You get what I mean? At this point, you got to separate yourself. Okay, and other black men have been saying this on YouTube. You got to separate yourself. Separate yourself and focus on what it is that you're doing. And the greatness will follow. You achieve your goals, you achieve what you need to achieve. Don't even, and if you're a dude, don't even worry about these women out here, right? Because that shit could be a whole fucking nightmare. I could tell you that from experience. It can be a fucking nightmare. You'll think somebody's for you, and before you know it, shit is hitting the fan hard. And now you question yourself and your own decisions. You don't need that shit. And you just focus on you. But all this, we need to save the black community, and y'all stop. If you tell people something and they do not want to listen and they do not want to change, there's nothing that you can do. What are you going to do? Like, destroy their free will and force them to be this idea of what you think they should be? Like, stop. Okay, that's all I want to fucking talk about. Fuck it, you know. The shit he brought up, skewed information, and at the end of the day, yeah, at the end of the day, just another fucking day of this shit. I'm done.